This is the Infinite Intelligence Report, episode number 11. Question: why do we find ourselves upon the Earth in this time period where we are witnessing a great deal of chaos and disharmony? Why, in this time, is it for us to go through this corruption and face off with it? Because this is something many of you have been preparing for going back eons within the idea of time throughout the earth and its ancient affairs. This is not the first time that you have gone through upheaval and unrest, neither individually or as a collective. This is indeed a time that you have been spending a great deal of effort looking to resolve through individual and collective means. This time is a fruitful time because many of you have decided to cooperate together on a higher soul level so that humanity can wipe the slate clean of advantageous dealings that have led to suppression, suffering, and struggle. For the collective to move past these changes and into something far greater in benefit, many of you had to go through the greater challenging times to learn through yourselves what requires your attention so that the essentials that need to be made can be made through such mutual cooperation. You hear the term, "we are all in this together," and that statement is correct. You have been through the deeper shadow portions of yourselves, and together you will face it and transcend it as the collective knowledge and the collective will is willing to make the effort to change for the better. It is also a time where corruption can no longer impose its blight upon the earth any further. You have reached an age where information and disclosure is becoming the norm through your digital society, and there are no longer any secrets that can be contained within the darkness of secrecy. Everything is being exposed and will continue to be exposed until the veil of secrecy, scandals, struggle, and corruption are brought to the surface for all to see. For many of you, you are able to see through it and are working upon yourselves to enter a more empowering time, encouraging personal change and upliftment. Others may be struggling, but nonetheless. What was once hidden is being noticed even by those who have never considered looking for such exposures. Yet the truth of such dealings in the darkness can no longer be ignored, even by one considered to be highly ignorant. You, as a sovereign being, have it within you to oppose corruption. You will not let lies stand. It will be challenged, and it will be overcome. That is your nature as a true sovereign being. Question: those of us who are sensitive to toxic people and toxic events around the world who are really absorbing all this in and want to be free from it, what can we do to free ourselves? Surrender and give no resistance or opposition to what is causing you struggle. As long as one continues to struggle and fight against the very things that are causing them to feel toxic themselves, you will only intensify the process that will cause you to be even more ill and irritated. When one opposes struggle, suffering, opposition, corruption, they do not infuriate those tendencies with the very emotions that are causing you to become further affected negatively. Instead, they are aware of such problems and surrender to the nature of what they represent. That does not mean that you are wandering off quietly in the night, ignoring such toxicities, but rather being a shining example of how you are giving no power to these tendencies is the antidote to being free of them. This is not preventing you from facing the problem. On the contrary, you facing the problem involves seeing it for what it truly is, and giving no resistance to the tendency. As your Mahatma Gandhi once demonstrated, the path of non-violent resistance is not only effective in the material world, but the path of non-retaliating resistance, in its essence, also works in the dissolvement and tranquilizing of any tendency or problem you face. It, too, will work just as well. One who follows a path where they do not retaliate against their own intensified tendencies becomes a light bearer for the world. Their light is highly powerful and influential, that just being present in a space with others, your light will absorb all problems, conflicts, and tendencies from others without you requiring to lift a single finger or utter a single word. The light performs all the work to bring everyone into ease. You have met such people on the earth. Their presence is intoxicating with kindness, compassion, warmth, and love that absorbs any troubles within you just by being in their presence. That is how you are the shining light for the world. Follow what your Gandhi once said. Be in non-violent and non-retaliating resistance with yourselves physically, emotionally, and mentally, and watch all toxicities upon yourself and then, in time, around others, disappear, as the light within you is powerful enough to dissolve away the negativity attached to those around you. Question: with the majority of human beings still following so much of the official narrative or life movie, how can we expect ourselves to enter an evolved or mature state when so many are still following the rhetoric of corruption and foul deeds on the earth? There are many who are in fear and respond to such narratives based on that fear. Fear is what controls others, and as long as that fear remains, those who choose to be victimized by such fear will remain influenced by the ones who use fear to enforce their motives. Yet, what is occurring on the earth is a counterforce that is putting an end to the fear agendas. As this is a transitional time, however, one needs to be aware between what is the influence creating fear causing others to ignorantly obey, and what is the true voice within to discern where such pitfalls exist so that one can overcome them by embracing their light. Not everyone will succeed in transcending the false narrative during this point in their lives. There are those whose fear is too great, and they rely on every word spoken from the controllers who only want to take advantage of their obedience and blind faith. However, there are more emerging from this darkness who have embraced the light and function as these pillars of illumination that are assisting others whether they are conscientious of it or not. What is important to remember is that you are not responsible for how another chooses to live their life. You have loved ones, yes, but despite them being loved ones, they have the ability to decide their own path. As you are the only changeable force within your reality, your efforts are required only to set yourself free, and not to feed the illusion that you are responsible for the billions of lives on the earth. That is not a duty for you to undertake, for it can never be done by any one person. The mass of awakening falls under the collective in larger numbers that shine their light upon the earth to have that light absorb the darkness of secrecy, scandal, and struggle. That is done by the many, not by the few, nor the one. Do not make the life path of the world your responsibility, as it is not yours to bear. Work on yourself and liberate yourself as you witness your struggles and surrender to them. That is the only task for you to complete as a living being. Leave the work of the world to the greater force that oversees all worlds. Such work is for God to undertake, not His children. Your ability to change yourself is the only requirement to self-liberation and infinite freedom. This concludes this episode of the Infinite Intelligence Report. Thank you for watching. Namaskar. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.